Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. Filming, it's me, Bruggy, as I attack this bush which is dying in places. Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that bush is the devil. I tell you now, it's been causing me problems for years, that old conifer. It keeps dying back and I keep having to go and chop it. And it reminds me, I just come back from the old field. I've been working with my scythe and, well, you never know, I took a club just in case because, well, there's bandits and Anglo-Saxons about in Mercia today. And I got thinking about devil stories and the devil. You know, we have all these old sayings, the devil may care, the detail is in the devil, or the devil is in the detail. You know, and all these old sayings about, you know, the devil picks his right friends, and that's definitely true. And I got to thinking about an old story I was told many a long time ago when I was on my travels as a young man down south. I was passing through Wiltshire and those sort of counties, and I came to the county of Somersetshire. Oh yes. And I met a man over there. His name was Leaf, a tall man. And he said to me, "You must come back to our longhouse tonight, our big hall, for we have a storyteller that is superb and wonderful." And people in those days would boast about how good storytellers were and how good the entertainment in the old long hall was. But let's face it, it's not like today when you got TV and Netflix. In those days you had to make your own entertainment, or if you had the coin you could hire somebody to do it for you. As I put my scythe down. And so this old story is about a devil from Somerset, or some sort of a creature. And the story is called the Black Devil, as you'll see, but it's also known as the Black Rider. Now many years ago, in the land of the Anglo-Saxons, it was late in the medieval age of that time, heading towards the time of 1066 and the Battle of Hastings. You know, a great century and a great time. And all the lads had fun, I can tell you. Oh yes, bashing away at the Normans. And it was not long after that period that this story took place. And it's about a man who was called Sam, or Samuel, a very old name. And his family, well, they made a living thatching roofs. And so, of course, they was called the Thatchers. And this man, Sam Thatcher, well, you know, he's been working for many years, working away on roofs. Thatching is an incredibly important skill. You know, it's so sort of talent. If you see the joy and witness somebody thatching at an event or some country, you know, show, then take a few minutes out and you'd learn something. And a lot of old sayings come from thatching. And so this old man, in our age, he was probably in his 30s, but in the dark ages that was very old. His grandmother wasn't very well. They used to call her Granny Thatcher. And his wife, his whiff in Anglo-Saxon, you know, said, "Oh, you must go and take some, you know, some more, a nice pudding over to your granny and some parsnips." She loved parsnips. Big ones, small ones, fat ones. Ha! However they came, she loved them. And for a few months, or you know, of the season we're in, you know, she was very unwell. Some people said that she's been cursed. Some say she's got, you know, some kind of a cold or a flu. You know, it's time of year for it. Whilst others said it was magic. We'll see. Oh yeah. What it was, I don't know. Not at this very moment in time. And so, our man Sam, stocky bloke, he decided to get this food ready, but it was getting late in the day. In fact, it was evening. He would have sent his 2 children, you know, to go off to see the granny, but you know, because he lived in Somerset and he lived in the lowlands and she lived in the higher lands in Somerset, where it was more wild and more rugged, you have to be careful on the road. And so he thought, well, I can't send my children, not this time of night, you know, no, you know, they might get hurt you know, kidnapped by bandits or anything, you know. And so he decided to go himself. He got a leather sack. He put the nice pudding, don't know what it was, but it looks and sounds tasty. I love pudding. And he got some parsnips and a sack over his shoulder. It was very heavy. And for some time it will take 2 or 3 hours to walk there, you know. Everybody walked in those days if you couldn't afford a horse. So he's walking along, thinking, you know, any bandits out today, out tonight, I mean, no, there's no wolves or bears around here. Oh, you wouldn't want to be eaten by a bear or wolf, would you? Oh no, I mean, I would run, you know, I would lose the ability to speak, like I did a second ago, and I would run if I saw a big bear. And so he's walking along, you know, he thought, you know, oh, I wish I brought my lantern, but then again I got no way to light it. So, you know, with his sack carried on walking, and he came to a wooded area, very spooky, and he was a bit nervous, you know. The moon was coming out and going back behind the clouds, and it was making it look even more spooky, but he managed to get through this wooded area, you know. And then he had one more path and road to take, and this road was very well known for being haunted. Wow, he didn't believe in such things. Ghosts, nonsense, he says. There's no such things as ghosts. And so, you know, he's walking along, and suddenly he looked to his right, he looked up, and there was a rider on a horse, a black rider on a black horse. But something very strange, something you could say was even supernatural, for the rider had no head. Spooky, he thought. He was scared. For a man of his age and strength, not much scared him, but he was scared by that ghost black rider. Oh yes, I think I would be too. I'll be getting my club and having a go at him. Go, come here! But you know, ghosts have a habit of disappearing, and it made no noise. One second it was there, and next second gone. No noise at all. You would have thought if it was a horse it would make a rushing noise or stampeding of the shoes, the hooves, but no, it was silent. Deadly, devilishly silent. Ha ha ha, yes. And he carried on until he got to the old longhouse. It was a bit tatty by now, it was years old, a few decades, and the wood was rotting in the main beams. Never a good thing, you know. It would come to the time when they would bring the longhouse down, knock it down and make a new one. But that is another story and another video. And so he knocked on the door 3 times, and his old Granny Thatcher, answered the door, and she looked happy. He thought, Granny, he said, I've but told you I was bedbound and wasn't very well. I said, what are you doing up? He said, very strange, it says. Tonight, he says, the witch that normally comes and been tormenting me. Oh, you're not going on about that blooming witch. I told you, Granny, it's not real. Oh, yes, it is, she said. A black rider came and took the witch away. And ever since then, I feel like the curse is gone. But that's the point, Sam. He thought to himself, well, could this be true, actually, about the witch and the curse? And it was true. His granny looked so much better. And they both sat down and had pudding and parsnips. What a meal. The end of the tale from Somerset. And Somerset is a wonderful, lovely place. It is a place with a, you know, nice rolling hills and a lot of history from the prehistoric and Celtic and Roman and Anglo-Saxons. And the thing about Somerset we can't forget is the part it played in the rise of King Alfred the Great, because it did play a major part in his life story and getting us the freedom and finding and founding England, or the beginnings of it. So yes, I do hope you've enjoyed this story, and leave a like and share the video. Now I can't do an end screen, so I've got to walk off now for 15 seconds. Grab my scythe out of the old stump and going this way. Yeah. Goodbye.